Ladies, lean in for a moment, because I came to tell you that when God is about to bless a woman, he doesn't start on the outside, he starts on the inside. Oh, you're not hearing me today. He begins in your spirit, in your heart, in the hidden places where nobody else can see, because the size of your blessing is too big for the old version of you. Somebody in here has been wondering why it's been so hard, why you've been under so much pressure, why it feels like everything is breaking loose in your life. But I came to tell you, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You are in the labor room of destiny. And when God is about to birth something BG in a woman's life, the enemy fights her the hardest because he knows what's coming next. Oh, somebody shout, I'm ready for it. When God is about to bless you with something big, the first thing he does is shift your identity. He cannot pour a new blessing into an old mindset, because the old you does not have the capacity to handle what is coming. Before he changes your situation, he changes your name, your perspective, your character, and your posture. Think about Abraham becoming Abraham, Jacob becoming Israel, Sarai becoming Sarah. The blessing was attached to the new identity, not the old one. You cannot carry the weight of destiny while holding on to the labels of your past. That is why some doors have been closed. Some relationships have fallen away, and some people don't recognize you anymore. It's because you are in the middle of a divine identity shift. God will strip away everything that contradicts who you are becoming, not who you have been. And it feels uncomfortable, because transformation always costs something. You will outgrow conversations, habits, and even places that once felt familiar. This is why the enemy wants you stuck in an old season, because if you ever step fully into who God says you are, nothing will be able to stop you. He is renewing your mind, stretching your faith, and teaching you to see yourself the way he sees you. The blessing is already set aside, but you have to evolve into the woman who can receive it. Pressure is not a sign of punishment. It is proof that something is about to be birthed. Every woman who has ever carried life knows that the closer you get to delivery, the more intense the contractions become. The pain increases because the promise is near. Spiritually, it works the same way. When you feel the weight, the opposition, the frustration, and the chaos rising all around you, it is an indication that you are in the final stages before breakthrough. The enemy does not attack what is empty. He attacks what is full. If the warfare in your life has been heavy, it's because you are carrying something heavy in the spirit, something the enemy fears. Pressure forces you to push. It makes you cry out. It positions you to release what you have been carrying all along. God uses pressure to develop strength, character, and perseverance in you. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are destiny carriers. Do not misinterpret the season you are in. Do not let the pain make you doubt the process. What you are feeling is not the end. It is the transition. Every tear, every sleepless night, every battle you are facing is working together to deliver what God placed inside you. The intensity is a sign that you are closer than you think. And if you do not give up now, you will see what you have been praying for come forth. Every blessing requires a breaking before the breakthrough. Before God multiplies the bread, he breaks it. Before he pours out the oil, he crushes the olive. The process of breaking is never pleasant, but it is always purposeful. When you ask God for something big, understand that he will prepare you to carry it by breaking off everything that cannot go into your next season. He will break your pride, your dependency on people, your comfort zones, and your old patterns, because things cannot sustain the weight of your destiny. Breaking feels like loss, but it is actually making room for increase. It feels like separation, but it is really preparation. The breaking is not to destroy you, it is to shape you. It empties you so that God can fill you. It humbles you so that when the blessing comes, you will not mishandle it. Do not curse the breaking season. Do not run from it or try to rush it. It is proof that God is getting you ready for more than you can imagine, that there are things that cannot be taught in comfort. They can only be learned through brokenness. You will not appreciate the table he is preparing for you if you have never been hungry. You will not value peace if you have never walked through storms. The breaking builds endurance, wisdom, and gratitude. And when the breakthrough finally comes, you will understand that every crack in your life was necessary for the oil to flow. Your environment must match your destiny, and sometimes that means separation is necessary. God will not plant greatness in soil that cannot sustain it. If he has called you higher, he cannot allow you to stay surrounded by people or places that limit your growth. This is why some friendships have ended without explanation, why certain opportunities never materialized, why you feel disconnected from circles that once felt like home. It is not rejection, it is redirection. God knows that your environment influences your identity, your mindset, and your decisions. If you stay in a space that does not support what he placed inside you, you will shrink to fit where you were never meant to belong. That is why he will pull you out before he lifts you up. He will isolate you before he elevates you, because the wrong voices in your ear can sabotage the promise in your spirit. Separation is not easy because it feels lonely, but it is sacred because it creates space for God to speak clearly. When he calls you out of a place, it is because there is no more growth there for you. Do not mourn what God has moved. It was necessary to make room for the new season. Sometimes you cannot see the blessing because you are still grieving the separation. But if you trust him, you will realize that he removed what not carry you into your next level. What he has for you requires an environment that matches the weight of your destiny, and he will not settle for anything less. The enemy fights you hardest when your blessing is closest. Opposition is often the greatest indicator that you are on the verge of something significant. When the enemy senses that a shift is about to happen in your life, he launches an all-out attack to distract you, discourage you, and make you give up before you step into what God promised. The warfare intensifies not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. He knows that if you ever walk into your purpose, chains will break, lives will be changed, and territory will be taken back for God. That is why you have faced so many unexpected battles. so many sudden storms and so much resistance. It is not random. It is strategic. The enemy does not waste his weapons on someone who is going nowhere. If the attacks have increased, it means you are closer than you think. This is not the time to quit. This is the time to stand firm and fight back with faith. Remember, pressure and opposition always show up before elevation. Goliath stood in front of David before the throne. The Red Sea stood before Israel, before the promised land. The cross stood before Jesus, before the resurrection. Every great blessing comes with a great battle. So when you feel the enemy pressing in harder than ever, lift your head and declare, I must be next in line for a miracle. The fight is fierce because the future is big, and what God is about to release will make every attack worth it.